welcome you back to Syracuse, New York, and our continuing coverage of TBT 2025. Game 4 of the day here in Syracuse, New York, and our matchup, the number 2 seed, the Stars of Storrs, the Connecticut alums, taking on the 7th seed, the Brown Ballers. We're live at SRC Arena here in Syracuse, New York. 3 winners, 1 game to go, and here's how the brackets look here in Syracuse. The number 1 seed, Boeheim's Army, just advanced with a blowout over Herkimer Originals. They'll face We Are D3 Monday night at 8, and the winner of this game between Stars of Storrs and the Brown Ballers will take on the Green Mountain Men, the Vermont alums, Monday at 6 right here on FS2. We welcome you back to Syracuse, New York, everybody. Bob Rathman, Matt Muehlbach, great to have you with us for our coverage. This Stars of Storrs team is trying to use that Connecticut basketball heritage to build up a TBT squad that can make a run at a championship.
Yeah, use the talent that they've always had, right, but also the toughness that they've had, and can they put together the right mix of a team? We saw it early with Boeheim's Army. They have the right mix early. Be interested to see here what Stars of Storrs does.
Ryan Boatwright, a part of the national championship team when he played at UConn back in 2014, has been the driving force to get this team in TBT and make this ball club really click.
Yeah, it's not just his presence as a player. You said it. He's really tried to get players to come play. He wants to be part of it. He's acting as almost like a player GM, and you see some of the numbers right there. What an amazing college career. Top 10 in points and assists at UConn. When you have those type of numbers, it's a guy I can't wait to see in person play.
And if you're a music aficionado, do you love having a little smooth jazz?
Absolutely.
On the headphones. Well, how about Jazz Baines playing in his 5th TBT for the Brown Ballers?
Well, all I can say is he was the only guy so far to come over and throw us a high five during our open, and he's got great energy. You see the numbers right there. He is their absolute leader, and he will get them into everything and get them going.
And don't undersell the Brown Ballers. A couple of years ago in Dayton, they upset the Red Scare team, the Dayton alums, on their home floor with a magnificent performance. Jazz was a part of that. The tip-off is next. TBT, the basketball tournament, is powered by Puma and by TBT, the basketball tournament, is powered by Puma and by Or Health. Or Health, a daily pill to drink less or quit. And Purple. Purple, less pain, better sleep. Matt lives in Arizona. I live in Georgia. We're so glad to be out of the heat for a few days and seeing that beautiful shot.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Are you kidding me?
Here's a look at the starting lineup. Some familiar names for Stars of Storrs for sure. And they've got a lot of size, man.
They really do. Is one thing that jumped out at you when you just saw them in warm-ups, right? They were kind of an all-airport team. Come walking through the airport, and you look up and say, dang, these guys can play some hoops. But I think it's going to be interesting to see again what we see with all these teams. What's the connection like with this Stars of Storrs team? Some new players, a couple players that have played before, and here we go.
Arian Sherman to toss it in here for the Brown Ballers as we get our game underway. And as we have seen with all of our games here in Syracuse, and I suspect at every region, it takes a few minutes little feeling out process for most of these teams. Now, Boeheim's Army just came out here and looked like $1 million to start their game and never let up. But for most of these teams, it takes a few minutes to get going.
Yeah, no question. Kind of like a boxing match, right? To feel your opponent out, a couple punches, and see what they're all about.
Well, some of that size on display. 6'9", 245-pound Elijah Thomas with the game's first rebound. Now the Brown Ballers have it as we get this one going here in Syracuse, and several of the Boeheim Army fans have stuck around to do a little scouting.
That's right. They're into it for sure. Not only the team, their fans are very into this.
Alan Baker, and it's going to be out off Storrs.
7-2 matchup. Like we saw the 8-1. There's the Storrs coach coming up. But the 7-2 matchup, of course, you see the 7 team right here, Brown Ballers. They'll come out, I think, with a ton of energy, Bob, to try and see what they can do early in this one.
55 for Brown Ballers, who's back to you right there in the lane. That's Venky Joyce, and he was one of the key contributors in that upset of Red Scare a couple of years ago.
With some size, played at Eastern Washington. Nice play there out of bounds, just didn't make it. So we've seen a couple open threes, 2 misses.
So Ryan Boatwright takes over, now 32 years old. His UConn career ended in 2015. Guarded by Jazz Baines. Some interior passing that goes awry. And a turnover to give it to the Brown Ballers.
So I may be getting ahead of myself here, but looking at Boatwright, it reminds me a little bit of Bledsoe, Eric Bledsoe, playing for La Familia last year. Bledsoe, a little bit older, had, been around a while, probably didn't have his, his best stuff in his prime years, but managed the game beautifully. And I can just see the way already Boatwright is moving. I'm really anxious to see this first half and how it all comes together.
Baines getting it back. Here's Joyce, and he rims in a 3. Venky Joyce, an Australian by birth in Melbourne.
Eastern Washington known for shooting threes, and he comes out and knocks one in, and Boatwright comes right back and said, okay, I got this. Simple ball screen, and they really drop coverage there, and you're going to have to get out on Boatwright.
Well, baseline pop shot by Sanga. This is DeAndre Daniels. Thomas, man, he is a load on that block, turns and misses. Venky Joyce the rebound. And a turnover. That one's just going to roll out of bounds. No one really made a move for it. As we look at the head coach, Stars of Storrs, Tyler Olander. Last year they went 1-1 in TBT. They beat Herkimer, then lost to the Penn State alums.
Which I think on paper again was an upset, though Penn State played very well, those alums.
A drive inside. Joyce is there to stick it back, but we got a foul. And this one is going to go against the Brown Ballers and Aryan Sharma. Meanwhile, on the Brown Ballers side, Arsalan Jamil, the head coach.
Talked to Arsalan before this game, and he said, biggest thing for us is transition D. He was really worried about getting back on defense, and he was also worried about Stars of Storrs getting on the glass and getting more than one rebound. You see it right there as Daniels almost gets that rebound.
Yeah, they say Callum Baker touched it last. Baker, a Toronto, Ontario native. A lot of Canadians on this Brown Baller team.
And you can tell there's a nice little bucket out of the inbounds pass. You can tell the energy not the same as our first game when you had the home crowd. So which team here, to me, is it Stars of Storrs or Brown Ballers, kind of creates their own energy?
That jump shot was made by Kasim Nichols. For Stars of Storrs, this is a guy that they put on the roster just hours before the game. He and Jordan Jones. There was some mix-up, I'm told, about their eligibility and whether or not they would be allowed to play tonight. And there was a lot of back and forth, but they figured out that the guys did the right thing. They had all the documentation. They're allowed to play here tonight. And you see Nichols coming up with the basketball.
And that's what, again, Brown Ballers worried about transition, but when you turn it over, there's not much you can do.
Elijah Thomas knocks it down. Six-3, Stars on top. Sharma kicking it back. And a turnover. Boatwright's got it. Wow. Little Euro. Kick to the wing. The shot no good by Nichols.
Yeah, you called that Euro. You just see Boatwright's footwork, ball skills, high level.
Long board to Callum Baker. Jazz Baines for three. Like any team trying to pull off a big upset, you've got to control pace of play, and you've got to hit threes.
Yeah, and they haven't hit threes, they've hit one, but so far pace of play looking good for Brown Ballers. I think the problem for them, how do they get Thomas off the glass, the former Clemson player? He's just bigger than anybody on this Brown Ballers team.
Elijah, 6'9", 245, and he just pushes his man right under the basket.
And it wasn't a foul. He just kind of threw him over.
He had him hooked, and Elijah just, no problem. I'll just crank up the steamroller a little bit and take you right out. You mentioned Clemson, Dallas, Texas product, went to A&M, Texas A&M. Then after 1 year, played 3 at Clemson for the Tigers. And we have a whistle and a foul on Isaiah Whitehead.
That is his first, and it's his first.
Whitehead is a strong player. Again, you just look at a lot of the former UConn players and players, if they weren't at UConn, just associated with the team. Whitehead played at Seton Hall, but Big East players, man, they are strong.
Sharma to the corner, Baker. Rebound to Nichols. Ooh. Man, he moves. And the stick back by Brandon Garrett, and a timeout for the Brown Ballers.
Yeah, Arsalan Jamil just saw that, another offensive rebound, and said, we got to get a timeout and start figuring this out, guys. 11-3 right now. Brown Ballers need to pick things up.
So how do you get a team going in TBT, one with the heritage of Connecticut basketball? Well, you get this guy involved. A UCONN grad, the TikTok king, he and his family, Mark D'Amelio, and the tweet came in May of 22. You know, we ought to have a team for UCONN. And say no more. Mark got behind it, and here they are, second time around in TBT.
Yeah, and you'd figure this would be a staple of a team, and I think their next move, right, is to get a home court, just like Boeheim's Army has here in this regional.
And he has made it happen. Combined, myself and Matt, we have slightly fewer TikTok followers than Mark and the girls. 11-3, runner, good. Nice basket by Chaudhry, Ankit Chaudhry out of Ottawa, Canada.
A nice possession there, I think, to get inside a little bit. And again, how do they deal with Thomas on the inside? They had three guys that were coming down into the lane, no problem.
When Thomas is in the lane and he's got his back turned to us, it looks like a full eclipse. Nice shot by Brown ball as Chaudhry hits another one.
Chaudhry off the bench, the microwave. I stood next to Thomas in layups. He's going to get called for an offensive foul there on the screen. And he is one big man.
Played in Bahrain last season. Now he had 2 good games at TBT.
There's Chandra's, or this is actually the finish there by Thomas. And 3 guys around him, no problem.
Big fella, they're not touching you.
Well, we talk about guards. Whitehead almost had that steal, but, you know, guards being so dominant in this tournament, if you can get a big, though, that can clear the lane. Now, all of a sudden, Brown Ballers have turned things around.
13-11. And it's the bench that's come in to spark them. Rimming, no. Last touched by Storrs, no.
Whitehead's missed a couple 3, but I like his jump shot. He really looks good on that jumper, but this 3 by Brown Ballers. Look at the movement. They get it into the middle. They've got options on each side, and that's a wide open 3, what we saw with the Boeheim's Army. Whoa.
Whoa, look
pretty
out.
Physical.
And the foul is going to be charged to Jaden Graywall. .254 left, opening quarter, 13-11, Stars of Storrs on top. A nice little rally here by the Brown Ballers to cut it to 2. Isaiah Whitehead, the trigger man. Boatwright. Oh, fumbled away by Baines.
Well, you can see with Boatwright, they are not going to give him a lot of room to move. They essentially doubled that screen and roll right there. And Boatwright's going to have some good passing lanes because they're going to make it sure that he doesn't get open looks.
Garrett turns it over. Baines. Pump fake in the corner. Joyce in the pivot. Powers up, scores, and ties the game.
Well, they spread you out so much that Joyce just gets it in the block. If you're going to help, you're going to have a wide open 3, so he has the luxury of going one-on-one.
Whitehead, up and in. Good strong move.
He is strong, isn't he? His upper body.
He's stronger than New Rope. Joyce again. Couple of pump fakes and still a block by Nichols.
Now that's the one problem with getting it inside is UConn has so much size and length. Sorry, Stars of Storrs.
And it's almost like for Joyce, you just got to catch it and go.
Yeah, just go into him.
Yeah.
You got to get in his body to minimize that length that he has. Let's see here. Shoudry picking up here at full court, really getting after it. And right now, Brown Ballers just playing hard. I mean, that's what's gotten them back into the game, is just playing tough.
Free throws coming for Isaiah Whitehead as the Brown Ballers have gone over the limit here on team fouls in the first quarter. Brooklyn native, as we mentioned, out of Seton Hall. Played a couple of seasons with the Brooklyn Nets. Started 26 games as a rookie in the NBA.
Yeah, he's got an NBA body.
16-13.
Would not want to play pickup with him right now.
I like this seat a lot.
That's right.
And a three-ball good by Graywall. Boy, Jaden has come out and really infused energy into this Brown Ballers team.
As you mentioned, this whole bench has just been fantastic. It was almost, I wouldn't go as far as to say they were intimidated to start the game, but they weren't comfortable. And now they're playing with a great flow and confidence and energy.
The Brown Ballers have hit 4 threes here. This the last.
Now this one here, I think he had to put that up with the shot clock, so that makes it a lot easier to shoot when you know you have to.
Brandon Garrett gets the free throws as the Brown Ballers are in the penalty. Professionally in Hungary last season, now 34 years old. A minute and a second left in the first period here. 17-16. Stars of Storrs. Opposite side of the bracket from Boeheim's Army, if you're thinking Big East, UConn, Syracuse down the road.
That game would be, if they win, would they have to win tonight, win Monday, they would play Wednesday here against Boeheim's Army. If they make it, obviously, one more win. Some great games, by the way, tomorrow. We got some phenomenal games.
Fantastic.
Looked at the schedule.
And another three by Chowdhury. And the Brown Ballers have come back to take the lead, 19-18.
I tell you what, their spread offense has hurt Stars of Storrs. They've been really struggling to get out on everyone when you have 5 shooters right now for Brown Ballers.
Garrett connects. Stars on top, 20-19. Boy, make a note. Talk about games tomorrow on Big Fox at 2:30 Eastern Time. You've got the SEC rivals, Auburn and Kentucky.
I know. La Familia against War Ready. Cannot wait for that one. And the other one I really love, where was that game? I think it's Heard That versus West Virginia.
Yeah, that's in Charleston tomorrow night at 5 Eastern. But how about this quarter for the Brown Ballers? Coming up after a slow start, and they've got the lead 21-20 at the end of the first quarter in Syracuse, New York. Could the Brown Ballers do it again? Another TBT upset. They're up 1 after 1.
Everybody focus on the with this lineup, I want Jazz in the back, and I want you in the back. guys stay up top. Actually, no, Jazz, you go up top. You got the back. You got the back, all right? Yo, we're going to go backside, okay? The dude with the dress, that's Jones. Who is the guarding side? He's guarding you, so you're going to be the guy away from backside. So let's say you're here, that's where he should be. We're going to run backside with Jasmine. All right, we have Aryan, Elam. Elam, you be here. This is Jasmine, and this is Jasmine. You're right here. You're right here. Boom. Backside, go set it. Aryan, come off, DHO, roll, play, keep him out of the picture. All right, let's go. 23 on defense. Come on. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Good talk, boy. Good talk. You got the back. All right? Yo, we're going to go backside, okay? The dude with the dress, that's Jones. Who is the guarding side?
We start the second quarter with the Brown Ballers on top 21-20. Let's go inside the Brown Ballers huddle, powered by Puma.
Away from backside. So let's say you're here, that's where he should be. We're going to run backside with Jasmine. All right, we have Aryan, Elam, you be here. This is Jasmine, and this is Jasmine. You're right here. Boom. Backside, go set it. Aryan, come off, DHO, roll, play, keep him out of the picture. All right, let's go. 23 on defense. Come on. Wait.
And one of the big keys
Take it away, Ankit. Take it away.
for the Brown Baller has been their ability to knock down threes. The bench has 3 of the 5. They're 5 of 10. And the Stars of Storrs, a slow shooting quarter from deep, 1 of 7.
Well, and I think this second quarter will be interesting to see right from the jump here. I think Stars of Storrs got to play with more energy, Bob. They got out-energied by Brown Ballers in that late part of the first quarter.
And from the corner, Rodney Purvis.
Purvis played at UCONN, so part of the thread that keeps these UCONN players together. You know, there's another.
Boy, they're starting to cook.
They are cooking, and there's another saying. Greg Popovich talks about having appropriate fear for your opponent, and granted, Stars of Storrs are not playing Boeheim's Army, right? So you look across, and Brown Ballers may not, on paper, be a team to look out for, but they are balling.
Elijah Thomas, powerful 2 inside, 25-23. Off the bounce, Chowdhury. Man, I'm telling you, Matt, this is the same script we saw at Dayton.
Well, you saw that game, right? You called it.
Yes, sir.
That was that 2 years ago?
Yes, sir.
2 years
23.
ago. Okay.
Jazz Baines. Off the screen.
Well, right now, Stars of Storrs are switching everything, and that could prove to be difficult because they've gotten some mismatches.
Foul on DeAndre Daniels. Well, that time, Sharmer was switched against the big. I was surprised he didn't try to take it.
Yeah, I was too. I thought he might drive on him or at least step back and hit the 3. Elected to pass that one up, but it was that Senga in the middle. I covered Senga a couple of times in college when he was at Cal State Northridge. Really good player.
and a couple of major leg and knee injuries that he's overcome to keep playing. And you see, finished at Canisius. It was one of 4 different schools that he attended. 25-25.
You know, Boatwright had a nice rest there. I'm interested to see. Let's watch Boatwright. Will he be a little more aggressive in this stint here? I thought he was really kind of looking to pass it. That's a great pass there, but maybe wasn't as aggressive. And I thought it was Boatwright's play early there that got them in rhythm offensively.
Kasim Nichols, who played collegiately at Tennessee State, with a nice cut to the hole and gets that dunk. And the Brown Ballers keep it cooking with Sharma. Again, and a header.
Playing a little TBT soccer. We got the TBT soccer.
Yeah, TST.
That's right, TST. My bad.
Shot is short.
Now let's see if they try a heavy dose of Thomas right here inside, because
it's just a mismatch.
Look at this. 4 guys on him inside that play.
The Lilliputians could not handle him.
And it's almost like a big offensive line getting the gut punches in early, the body blows. They're getting after him.
Brown Ballers down by 2. Cross court. Chandri. And another 3 from Jazz Baines.
And that's not playing hard. That's just miscommunication, Bob. And we talk about being connected. And if you're not connected, that's what happens. They get a wide open 3-pointer. You saw the Stars of Storrs talking to each other after, like, hey, whose fault was that? Let's go.
In and out. 7 threes made by the Brown Ballers, and Baines takes it up, and he's fouled. The foul is charged to Isaiah Whitehead.
Now here's that 7th 3 that Brown Ballers hit. Again, no one guarded him. I mean, no one even made a contest whatsoever. Wide open 3. That run out right there does a good job. I thought he was going to get into him, but used his length to get around him.
Baines hits the first.
Probably a good move not to try to get into Whitehead. Just try to go around or over.
Brown Ballers last season lost to Red Rose Thunder. Baines had 12 in that game. And give the Brown Ballers credit. They have caught fire big time. Baines again. 34-31.
I love Baines. Love his game.
You gotta
love
his
energy.
And Rodney Purvis comes through again.
I like the move there to give Boatwright a screen at half court. You screen him out there, and it gives him a ton more room to maneuver and make something happen.
And the miscommunication defensively continues for Connecticut.
That's after a make. They're coming back. Brown Ballers getting basically a layup or an attempted layup off of a make.
This will send Venky Joyce to the line. In the upset of Dayton 2 years ago at the Dayton Arena, Joyce went for 9 points. He had 4 assists, 2 steals, and 12 rebounds. 6 of them on the offensive glass. Tie game at 34. 35-34.
Only 6-8. See how they're screening now so high because they want to get Boatwright in a one-on-one with Joyce, and that's creating good shots. Didn't make that one.
Bassey just came in.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, these guys can't miss.
No, and the confidence is crazy.
38-34.
They were watching Boeheim's Army and got a little piece of that.
Boatwright, no. This is where Brown Ballers having some difficulty on the offensive glass.
You wonder, I'm not sure what they can do. They just try to help out. I will say running up and down right now, I'm surprised that the Brown Ballers are playing so fast. You mentioned this, one way on paper, if you're an underdog, control pace. They're pushing whenever they can. They have no problem with it.
Yep. To their credit, Nichols missing the first of 2. Look at the offensive rebounds, 11-1 in favor of Storrs. But the flip side of that is
that was a foul.
The flip side of that statistic is Brown Ballers aren't missing.
Right, that's right.
They can't get
an offensive board.
No, another foul.
To your point, Bob, I'm glad you brought that up. I always laugh when people say, look at the rebound stats. What you have to look out in rebounding is what is your percentage offensive rebound, what's your percentage defensive rebound. It's the only way to really understand if you're rebounding well.
Whitehead. Contested three-pointer.
Yeah, contested, no passing.
Whoa.
But a turnover there. Let's see if Boatwright can take advantage.
It's slapped away. He saves it.
That's backcourt.
And it's going to be a violation on the Stars of Storrs.
And you can see some frustration right now on Stars of Storrs.
Isaiah Whitehead has had a lot to say.
Has been issued against Stars of Storrs. The game has been issued against the Stars of Storrs.
Jazz Baines to get it in. Tyler Olander, the head coach, trying to inspire his ball club here. We're down to 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, and the Brown Ballers have been ultra hot. Reach in steal by Boatwright. Purvis lays it in.
Oh, such a nice fast break right there. Boatwright with the steal and the pass ahead. It was it? I think it was Kasim Nichols with that touch pass. Never even brought it down, the touch pass for the layup.
Brandon Garrett with a nice-looking block as we come to a timeout. 3:34 left, second quarter in Syracuse. The Brown Ballers thinking upset. Here's a look at TBT past champions brought to you by AARP. Join AARP and get instant access to member benefits. The domination of overseas elite ending at the hands of Carmen's crew in 2019. The Marquette Alums, the Golden Eagles in 2020. Travis Diener on the wall here at Boeheim's Army's Arena here in Onondaga County Community College. Blue Collar U, boy, Buffalo alums had a great run. Hard fire, then Carmen's crew coming back last year to win it again. Where's old Diener? There he is, 2020, right there in the middle.
Who's that 24? Is that Sullinger? Is that Jared Sullinger?
It is.
The man last year.
He played great.
Awesome.
Dievendorf up there in 21 for Boeheim's Army.
Yeah, Devo. He was awesome that first game, talking to him before, and the fan involvement he had. Everyone wanted a picture with him.
Oh, look at that post pass.
Out of a timeout. I love the ATOs and the good play calling. I'll tell you what, they are just playing with so much energy, Brown Ballers.
Dudewall with that last basket for the Brown Ballers. 40-36, the Brown Ballers on top. Ryan Boatwright. Purvis. He's been one of the few consistent scorers for the Stars of Storrs. Motoring to the hole, Baker, no.
Stars of Storrs did not get back. They're lucky to be going the other way, but a turnover. Now you got, what, a 3-on-1 and pulling up for the three. Baines is awesome.
Boatwright. Fouled by Baines.
Baines was trying for like an early little TKO right there, he thought.
Man, he was feeling it.
I might have taken the 3-on-1, I think, in retrospect, but I like the irrational confidence. Actually, it's been rational because he's been making shots.
Boatwright to the stripe, the assistant GM of the team. He's been with this TBT construction from day one.
Number 7, Elijah Thomas back in.
Here comes Elijah Thomas back in. Boatwright at the stripe, 2:31 to go in the half, and a 40-37 game. You know, you talk about putting a club together like Connecticut, starting it. A lot of these teams, most of their good guys are either in the NBA and can't participate.
Right.
You know, the Dukes, the Carolinas, and people like that.
They're too good, or you have some teams like a Kentucky that have had just, look at, this team is literally on fire. I mean, we got to go back. Boeheim's Army was, what, 18-29. The Brown Ballers right now, I think, are, what, 10 of 15 from three? 9 of 14.
That's some shooting.
That's ridiculous.
And they started 1 of 9 overall.
Yeah, 9 of 15.
And Baines gets knocked into the stanchion.
Storrs now number 7, Elijah Thomas. That is his second and the team's 4th. Number 3,
There's a look at Jaden Graywall knocking that down. And then Baines was fouled on his drive. 43-38 Brown Ballers, and Jazz Baines adds to the total. Becky Joyce coming back in. Dudewall goes out. And Baines ready. The Brown Ballers have turned this game completely around. They started 1 of 8 overall from the field, and quite frankly have missed just a handful of shots since. They've mixed it up defensively, and you know, as you pointed out, Matt, you know, there's a tremendous size disadvantage that they're dealing with.
Well, and they're finally figuring out that a little bit, but not right there. Great example of another offensive rebound for Stars of Storrs. They have been able, well, one of the problems is every time Thomas comes back in, they really struggle to rebound. And here he is on the break. They're just hanging on to him.
Ground ballers foul number 1, Callum Baker. That is his first.
They list Thomas at 245. I think that may be with 1 foot on the scale.
Elijah Thomas to shoot 2.
I think, yeah, maybe just I think he went for the foul right there to try to put him at the line. Smart move. The good thing about that, if he misses, then you get him away from the board. Just get him to the line.
So, foul paid off and a missed free throw.
Back in for the Stars and Storrs.
DeAndre Daniels returns. Steve Nichols to the bench.
I know I'm looking a little bit or pretty far down into the second half, Bob, but I could see an Elim ending here that could be pretty magical right here with how close this
For the
is.
Stars and Storrs, number 6, Brandon Garrett.
Brandon Garrett back in for the Stars of Storrs. 45-41, Brown Ballers. 68 seconds left in the half.
Well, as I pointed out, they haven't really tried to slow it down at all. They've been going at Stars of Storrs. Again, that spread offense.
Nice poke away by Boatwright. Yeah. Loose ball picked up by Whitehead. Boatwright can't hit it from the wing, and a loose ball finds the hands of Isaiah Whitehead, and a kick ball.
Another offensive rebound, but great hustle back to the rim just to kick it. 2-for-1 opportunity here.
This is Jordan Jones, number 9. Was added to the roster just hours before the game. He gives it up. Whitehead, they got a short clock here. They throw it away, but a foul on the backside by Baker.
Ground ballers foul number 1, Callum Baker. His second, team's 5th. They are now in the corner.
So this will send Brandon Garrett to the foul line. He's got some TBT history, does Garrett, all the way back to 2018. Missed free throw. Boy, if you're the Brown Ballers, you've got to feel great about this first half.
Absolutely. Well, big thing for them here. Try to get a box out if it doesn't go in. They've struggled there. Now you got one shot, and don't turn it over. That's probably number 1. Just don't turn it over so you can take that last shot.
And applying the pressure, Jordan Jones. Played at Central Connecticut. Down to 13 seconds.
Bain's so good with the ball. How do they run here? Just a little pick and roll.
And a steal. There's that turnover. Boatwright, 3, 2, Boatwright, yes, as the half ends.
Now exactly what Brown Ballers did not want. And you see Boatwright, perfect. Once he got the steal, looked up at the clock right at half court. His eyes looked up. He knew he had about 4 to 5 seconds. That meant 4 dribbles, and he got it off right here. Right there, he looks up. 1, 2, 3, and there it was. Right at the buzzer. That's a huge play to get a little momentum for Stars and Storrs because they've had no momentum this first half.
They do leave the floor with a 1-point lead. The 7th seed, the Brown Ballers. 45, the 2 seed, Stars of Storrs, the UCONN alums, 44. Back with halftime after this. Halftime continues here from Syracuse, New York. TBT 20. Halftime continues here from Syracuse, New York. TBT 2025. Stay with us. We'll be back with more stats and highlights coming up. Welcome back to Syracuse, New York, everybody. We are at halftime in our final game of the day here with the 7th seed, the Brown Ballers, leading Stars of Storrs 45-44. Bob Rathman, Matt Muehlbach back with you here in Syracuse. The Brown Ballers pulled off an epic upset a couple of years ago. Could they do it again?
They might. They definitely can. And the question is, will they? Can they maintain this shooting from the three-point line? And conversely, can the Stars of Storrs get it inside? Because they are dominating in the paint, but when they shoot it from the perimeter, they're 3 of 18. They're not making anything. Brown Ballers making everything from outside.
And the inside game has been Connecticut's strong suit.
Yeah, it almost looks sometimes like a big brother that's inside playing his little brother on the inside, but the little brother had tremendous energy on the other side and shoot threes. Here you see the inside game right here, Stars and Storrs, unstoppable. They've been out-rebounding them. However, if you trade 2 for 3, I don't have to be a mathematician to say Brown Ballers have pretty good numbers when they're making all those threes, and they made them at a high clip. And again, look at these shots. You remember the Syracuse alumni open shots, Bob, and I mean that one was so open he had 3 seconds to shoot it. This one a little closer, but they're getting very good shots. And you know what? Get them in transition or half court.
Halftime stats are brought to you by Purple. Purple, less pain, better sleep. And the Brown Ballers are bringing the pain with 9 threes.
That's right. I'll be interested to see who brings the energy. Who brings the energy at this? I want to see the first 3 minutes of this second half, because I thought Brown Ballers had a lot more energy than Stars of Storrs that first half.
And that third quarter, that second half, is yours next on FS2. TBT, the basketball tournament, is powered by Puma and by AARP. Join AARP and get instant access TBT, the basketball tournament, is powered by Puma and by AARP. Join AARP and get instant access to member benefits. Welcome back to Syracuse. Third quarter begins. Brown Ballers on top, 45-44. Final game of the day here in this region. And the winner will play the Green Mountain team representing Vermont at 6 p.m. Monday night right here on FS2. D3, Boeheim's Army, the second game at 8 Eastern. Well, the Brown Ballers will have it to start this third quarter. And they get it in the hands of Jazz Baines, and he goes right through the key.
There was your Nash dribble, but he didn't use it. He was in there for a minute, went all the way out. Well, I think for me, again, let's see the first 2 minutes of this third quarter. How do Stars and Storrs come out? The energy level, the effort.
Good look from the wing. And no held ball. And the long pass goes beyond the reach of Elijah Thomas and out of bounds.
Well, and it looked like it was a good pass, but Thomas tried to go up to get position. He didn't need to get position. Baines was there. He just needed to stay where he was and just catch it. And he said, hey, my bad. So, a little miscommunication.
Nice pass inside. And Sanga with the bucket.
Well, Sanga's cut was so quick and decisive, and what was even more decisive was the shot. He never even thought about it. He just caught it and went up in one motion.
Oh, that was a hook inside by Sanga. And 2 free throws coming. You know, you watch Brown Ballers here, you think, well, are they going to hit the wall here soon? No, they keep executing and running and getting good looks.
And they use their bench really well. I thought they did a great job in the first half. They look fresh. Don't they look? They look like, we talk about being in shape and having the endurance, and you see their coach right there. They are really, really in good shape. It's a good point by you. No slowdown.
47-46 is the score. Some of the Boeheim Army faithful have stuck around for our second half. It's been an interesting game. Joyce, no shot that time, a block for the UConn alums. This is Nichols inside, and he's fouled. When they get the ball in the paint, almost inevitably, the Brown Ballers foul them.
Yeah, no, they don't even need to shoot a three. And again, they shot so many of them. Stars shot 18, 3 of 18. Little bit of disagreement here.
Yes, there was a coming together. Yeah. And there were 5 Brown Ballers and 2 white shirts.
I remember playing years ago. Sean Higgins tried to get in our huddle at the free throw line. You remember Sean Higgins from Michigan? If you're out there, we were laughing about that when he did that. That was pretty funny. Actually, I was thinking earlier today when I thought Frank Mason saw him play, reminded me, I didn't say this, he reminded me a little bit of Ramil Robinson, the old Michigan player.
Boy, there's a blast from the past.
Yep, strong and likes to get to the rim.
Becky Joyce gives it up.
Look at how spread they are, right? They spread them out. They just go one-on-one. They look for the right matchup.
Oh, spin move.
Oh,
beautiful ball fake and a travel.
That was an old school ball fake. That was a little bit of Hakeem right there, bringing the ball all the way around.
That's a Globetrotter fake.
Right.
Show the ball, 5 guys jump.
Meanwhile, Stars and Storrs now up 1, and as you pointed out, I think you pointed out a great thing, Bob. Like, they just need to get in the paint. If they just live in the paint this half, they're not going to lose this game. There it is.
They blow the whistle every time.
They'll foul out Brown Ballers by practically the beginning of the fourth quarter.
And
I think that was probably the talk at halftime, right? Have a lot of energy, and ultimately everything's got to be in the paint except maybe Boatwright. That's the one guy I'd let do whatever he wants to out there.
And he looked good on that sideline three. Brown Ballers have been out-rebounded 27-13. They trail by 4 with 6:40 left in the third.
Well, and how do they respond now? They've had that nice little run up until halftime.
They go back to their bread and butter, the three-pointer.
Sanga brings out Thomas out to the three-point line, and that's the mismatch for them. And now they go to the mismatch on the other side where Thomas goes inside.
They just burying these guys in the post. Turnaround is good for Daniels.
Now this is a great matchup because it's complete opposites.
Paynes gets a step on Boatwright.
He had the shot if he wanted it. A little off balance.
Off the glass and good by Sharma.
Sharma, that was gorgeous. I mean, the way he pulled up, not easy to pull up and come back to your right hand when you're going right. You've got to really plant, and you can only do that if you're in good shape, and this team is.
Daniels slapped away.
Jeez.
And now the whistle.
He got fouled 3 times. They're letting them play, and they've been consistent about that in this game.
This will send Daniels to the line. Los Angeles native. He had a brilliant NCAA tournament in 2014 during the title run. Tyler Olander, of course, a big piece of that championship pedigree, the head coach.
Well, and Jim Calhoun on this, his son on this staff, right?
Yes, Jeff on the bench.
Staff. Pretty cool to see.
Boy, Boeheim and Calhoun.
Yeah.
If that comes to be on Wednesday night.
2 of the greatest.
There's going to be a foul. This is on Boatwright.
I always thought Calhoun brought a toughness to UConn. It was just, I mean, it was matched because the Big East had that, you know, in Georgetown with John Thompson and over the years with my guy P.J. Carlesimo at Seton Hall. I love P.J. St. John's, of course. The Big East in the 80s. Oh, Big Monday was my favorite day of the week. Every single week growing up, watching those guys. I told you about Pearl Washington, my favorite player in college ever. But
not to mention the Georgetown Hoyas.
The Georgetown Hoyas and Syracuse matchup was epic. Epic games. Then UConn came on.
Jazz Baines.
Here we go. 3 against 2. It's can I make a 3 and then UConn Stars and Storrs.
Can I make a 3 before I foul out?
That's right.
3 on the wing for Kasim Nichols.
Well, Nichols, the 1-3 that they see Boatwright now really putting pressure on Baines. And you can really see Stars and Storrs defense picking up big time. Now, if you pick it up, it'll open some things up, and that's what it did.
Man! On Kid Johnry with the 3 underneath a big left-hand flush for Garrett.
Now, too much celebrating, they didn't get back. Now, this has turned into a really good game. Really competitive. That's what we love about this.
Whoa! A slap down. They got all ball. Now Boatwright's got it. And underneath, a foul on Bassey.
Now ball is foul number 43,
Here's that dunk. The left hand. Got to get back. Again, more points in the paint.
DeAndre Daniels connecting on the first of 2. 59-57 Stars and Storrs. Jaden Graywall comes in for the Brown Ballers. University of Waterloo product in Canada. Second shot coming for Daniels. Rims out. It remains a 3-point game. Corner three. Run out rebound for Boatwright. Right to the front of the rim, followed good.
That's the best Boatwright has looked all game. He looked, the speed was there on that play, and he was aggressive on it. He created, even though he missed, he created the putback.
Oh, Whitehead flopped.
You got to get back if you're Stars and Storrs.
And another three for Chowdhury. Pulls the Brown Ballers within 2.
It's also recognition. Remember, these teams don't have a ton of times to scout, and there's not much to scout even on the Brown Ballers team. They don't have the names like Stars and Storrs.
And we got a foul on the Brown Ballers for a hold in the rebound action. Or do we? Let's see what the officials say. We're going to a timeout. So, a timeout on the floor. 3:17 left in the third. Stars of Storrs by 2. Tomorrow on Fox, the IndyCar Series hits the streets of Toronto, where the fastest man on earth, Alex Palou, continues his season for the ages. That's tomorrow at noon Eastern, only on Fox. Bob Rathbun, Matt Muhlenbach, and our crew from Syracuse and Indianapolis, welcoming you back to the third period here, game 4 of the day at the SRC Arena. We're on the campus of Onondaga County Community College. And a free throw coming for Kasim Nichols. That makes it 63-60. The Brown Ballers have outscored the Stars of Storrs by 21 points at the three-point line. Missed shot. Jazz Baines collects, and here come the Brown Ballers.
You know, 12 of 18 or 12 of 19 from 3. You wonder, can they sustain that for an entire game? And as we get closer to the fourth quarter,
and there's your turnover. Stars of Storrs lose the dribble. Jordan Jones out of bounds, and now this ball, I believe, is going to belong to the Brown Ballers. I take that back. It will go over to Stars of Storrs.
Well, Stars of Storrs, number one, they've played harder and with more energy this second half. And number two, maybe just a part of that is they look a little more connected as a team. Good screen right there.
Well,
Good shot.
And the new guys have picked him up, Nichols and Jones.
Yep.
I tell you, you talk about the intensity, Matt, and it's been the ball pressure, I think, more than anything. Obviously the size once it gets inside, but they put great pressure on the ball.
Yep, they really have, and that has translated to better offensive production too.
Brown Ballers just aren't able to get guys open and make those passes like they did in the first half.
Well, you can't underestimate people, and I wonder if Stars of Storrs did that just a little bit in that first half. And
Number 15, Isaiah Whitehead, back in for the Stars of Storrs. Number 1.
Now they know they got a game.
If you don't study your history, you are doomed to repeat it.
That's right.
And these Brown Ballers know how to pull an upset off. Venky Joyce jumps in to claim it, 65-60.
I'll tell you, Whitehead is playing hard on defense. You just mentioned, look at the ball pressure there. Purvis out at half court. And now you got Whitehead over on the other side here talking to the ref again. He is playing very physically against Baker. That matchup, I'm gonna watch that one on the off ball. And look, even the bigs are coming out. Now, when they do that, though, that can open up the lane if you don't cover them, right? That creates one-on-0 and open shots like that when you gamble.
And a hold by Whitehead in the rebound action.
I'll tell you, Joyce is a good player. Yeah, he really, he does a lot of really smart things out there.
And he's coming back from Achilles tear. 2:21 to play, third quarter. Corner three, short. And it's going to be Stars basketball. Elam ending in the fourth quarter.
And you'd think here, Stars of Storrs get it inside. Now, Brown Ballers are going to sort of a zone here, but it's like a 1-3-1 where they pick up really high, super hard ball pressure, trying to get them to a mid-range and not to get inside. It worked.
Venky Joyce with it. Finds a friend, now kicks it across.
Oh,
and again, the turnovers really hurting the Brown Ballers. Whitehead goes crashing in. And he'll go to the foul line.
Ballers foul number 1, Callum Baker. That is his 4th team in the bonus.
The Brown Ballers here, Bob, they've got to be worried here about Stars of Storrs getting some separation. It's to go up to 7 here, and it'll be as big as it's been since early in the game.
Yes.
So
the Stars of Storrs led by 8 in the first quarter. Fell behind by 7. And now it's a 6-point spread after the 2 free throws by Whitehead.
And Shootery has been their go-to guy when they need a 3. He's back in, number 11. They're trying to get him open. Tough shot there.
Yes, pull up short.
Too much pressure. It's just hard to hit.
1:25 to go, third period.
I get it into Thomas.
Yep, he had Sanga on his back, and there was nothing that the defender could do.
I mean, this is like, okay, when you look it up in the dictionary on how to seal your guy in basketball, 101, page 37 book on how to play basketball, there's the seal.
They had him by the head. No way to stop this guy.
It reminds me when you have like a McDonald's All-American sometimes, like in high school. They just have no one his size.
Right.
And they're just draped all over him.
Yep.
Now they brought in Bassie, who has the size.
Bassie gives it up, and thank you, Joyce gets a dunk.
Yeah, the little, I call that like the 6-inch assist. I mean, it was right there. It was a nice assist.
Out of bounds. Let's see if the Brown Ballers could take advantage.
Yeah, they got a minute left to try to get this thing maybe to about 4 or 5 if they can.
This is the final minute of the third period. 8-point game. And a 3-ball goes for Ankit Chowdhury. He's been outstanding.
Chowdhury has been the guy. I mean, he has lit it up from 3.
4 for 4. Offensive foul. Stars and Storrs. So they got the bucket. They come back, get a 3. Now they're going to get the ball back again with 38.4.
Here's the 3 from Chowdhury. Thomas upset on this.
Yes, and watch, there was a foul on that play.
Yeah, got inside, almost even got under him there. Here's this foul. Yeah, Thomas not happy with that, but he thought he flopped. Hard to tell. Sometimes big guys, strong guys get a tough whistle.
You over here? Can we see the replay?
The officials are asking for a replay. See if we can roll that for them. They're looking at the Thomas foul.
We're looking to monitor review for the last play here.
Bob was boxing out right there. You're saying, don't take my replay. Yeah. They got it over there.
They come to the Oracle.
They know the legend when they see him. I thought they were going to ask you just to give him a call.
I would have been happy to help them. But, you know, this is they got this thing up to 10.
Oh, yeah.
That's a two-hand shove. Yeah, that's a flagrant. That's a flagrant
It's
foul.
a flagrant for sure. You get above the neck right there. And
yep.
Clearly not a basketball play.
But this game sort of flipped here in the last minute.
It has. Yeah, great point. You said it when it was 8 points. What are they going to do? They came down, hit that 3. Now, not only are you going to get the ball back,
you're going to get free throws.
You're going to get free throws out of this. They could potentially get this thing to like one or two. Actually, they could get it tied.
You know Elijah Thomas would like to have that back.
It seems like a pretty typical flagrant 1 right there. Yeah. I wonder if what I didn't see was Thomas upset about maybe something happened beforehand, whether it was something he said or did something physically, because he was upset. That was not, there was something he was mad about for sure. And of course, often as we see, Bob, if you do retaliate, you're the one that gets caught.
It's going to be same team foul for White. Same personal for White 7, yep. It's just going to shoot 2 shots down here, and then Blue's going to get the ball back. Okay. Here we go.
So it'll be a flagrant 1.
Yeah, flagrant 1. Yep. Yeah, good job by the refs there.
Flagrant 1.
Let's just play, right?
So this is a big swing here.
So he's just
and the first shot, no good by Graywall.
Thank you.
Well, and a good job by the officials right there talking to Thomas.
Yes.
I love that. You just never see that anywhere. Oh, he misses
both.
Wow.
My goodness.
I tell you what, you miss the first in that situation. I've been in that situation. Nobody on the line. It's hard to shoot. It's almost hard to shoot in an arena where there's not many people than it is when it's full. because you can hear everybody talking. And then when you miss the first, you hear everybody behind you on the opposing team. He done got it, or, you know, whatever. And now he's going to turn it over, it looks like.
Purvis getting this guy's shirt. Joyce.
Oh, what a fake.
Oh, too strong off the glass. Here comes Jones.
Almost looked like a goaltender.
Thank you, Joyce.
They got a hold for one. They should have held, I thought, till late in the clock, that last possession, Brown Ballers. But here they got a hold till one, which they have. That looked like a foul.
Teammates collide.
Oh.
Another, no, was there a whistle?
No call.
Oh my goodness.
As Chick Hunt used to say, no harm, no foul, I guess. Wow.
Oh boy. So the third quarter ends, and it's a 5-point ball game.
Woo. There's a lot. That was a lot to unpack.
Yes.
The last minute.
Yes. We had a flagrant foul, and then a couple of no calls, and this is anybody's game as we go to the fourth. A live look as Fort Wayne and Locked In Elite battle it out at Hinkle. Meanwhile, here in Syracuse, we go to the fourth quarter and a 5-point ball game. This has been so interesting.
Well, runs on both sides, and we've seen a lot of physical action at Tech late in that third quarter. We thought Brown Ballers had a chance to maybe even up the score. They didn't take advantage of the technical. Boatwright back out on the floor. You know, this could be a fascinating Elam ending. I am really interested to see where this ends up at the 4-minute mark.
Purvis. And the lane is good by Elijah Thomas.
You know, I think another thing we don't talk about is just composure. And we saw Thomas get upset in that third quarter, and I thought he did a nice job right there, just getting back to basketball.
The Brown Ballers have lived by the three-point shot tonight.
They got an open man.
And this one rims out. Venky Joyce, the rebound, sticks it in. Venky Joyce with a rare offensive rebound for the Brown Ballers.
Well, he's much smaller than Thomas, but sometimes if you have the angle, that diminutive size compared to Thomas gets you a look.
Boy, look at that powerful move by Isaiah Whitehead.
And he is big and tough. That's a mismatch. See, there they can get, although Thomas did a nice job recovering. He was beat off the dribble right there, but then he came back with his length and timed it perfectly.
We play till the 4-minute mark of this fourth quarter and then set the Elam ending.
And if you're Stars and Storrs, you want to be up by at least a comfortable margin because the three-point line for Brown Ballers has been so big. Now there's a three. We see Boatwright. I think that rest helped him. Good job getting him on the bench. A little bit of rest, gave him legs, got his legs back in it. That one looked good.
And the Brown Ballers have fallen behind by 10. They'll take a timeout here. Ryan Boatwright, the heart and soul of Stars of Storrs, comes up with a huge three, 10-point game. August 2nd, Major League Baseball taking over the iconic Bristol Motor Speedway for a must-watch, one-of-a-kind event. Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Atlanta Braves take on Ellie De La Cruz and the Cincinnati Reds in the MLB Speedway Classic, August 2nd on Fox. I cannot wait to watch that game.
I'm with you as a baseball
and that,
guy.
When they race under the lights in Bristol, that is one of my favorite races in the entire NASCAR Cup Series.
Right.
And they're going to forget racing.
Yeah.
We're going to put a baseball diamond in the middle of this racetrack.
Used to do the Braves, right?
Yes, I did.
How many years?
10 years.
10 years. Who were the best players on the team?
Oh my goodness, that was during their run.
Yeah.
And of course it was Chipper and Andres Galarraga.
Oh boy.
Brian McCann and Frank Core. I mean, we had a great team. But watching those guys pitch every night, you had a chance to win.
Yeah.
Smoltz did it one night, then Maddox, then Glavin. It was great. A lot of fun. And they're still good.
Although I remember the commercial. What a great commercial. Chicks love the long ball.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Nice pass inside, and Sanga is able to score 77-69.
That was a great play out of a timeout right there called by their coach, Arsalan Jamil. Really big play. They needed something there because being down 10 right there, they were in trouble getting blown out, and that's not good D.
Slicing right to the hole, DeAndre Daniels. Back to a 10-point game. Elam ending, kicks in at 4.
Travel.
3 rims out.
Oh, great hustle right there. The first time I could say this, I think Brown Ballers look a little tired.
Yeah.
They seem to have lost some of their energy. In fact, you see Joyce right now holding up his hand to come out. He is really tired.
And you have talked so well about the mismatch physically. It's the cumulative effect of that size. And now you're starting to see it.
You're seeing it. That's what happened to my Chiefs in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. That offensive line just wore them down. Actually, they wore them down after like the first quarter, I think. Yeah, the body blows from Whitehead and Thomas and all of these guys have definitely, as you said, taken the toll. And I thought the Brown Ballers were going to weather the storm there right at the end of the third, but it's gotten away from them.
High glass and good. Nice move by Sharma.
Again, a must make right there. They need to get something. The Elam Indian coming up in 2 minutes. You see Whitehead
and they
now.
need to be 5-6 points in arrears.
That's right.
Whitehead gets it back. Second chance opportunity. Whoa,
that's
we got an
offensive.
offensive foul.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. DeAndre Daniels lowered that shoulder.
Yep. And Baines knew he was going to do it. Now, did he flop a little? He did, but there was also the lowering of the shoulder, and that you're going to get that call every watch. He knows it's coming, and he played it perfectly. I'd be frustrated if I were the bigger player, but Baines did a nice job. Give him credit. Now you got 2 minutes until the Elam ending. Brown Ballers, and again with that three-point ability, I would be worried of Stars and Storrs if it was close.
Boy, they are swiping at that ball. Couldn't get it away from Baker, and it's going to be out of bounds to Stars.
Gosh, Baker did such a great job.
Well, they called a foul on Sanga.
The hardest thing Baker did was get the ball there. It was being knocked around. He did a great job getting it, but then he just missed the layup right after.
Somebody's got to come back to get the ball. And the inbounds comes to Rodney Purvis. Payne nearly had that steal.
Yeah, gambled all the way from the baseline on Boatwright.
Purvis, nice move to free himself. Baker drops back to rebound. Big possession right here for the Brown Ballers.
And Thomas was not in, so Stars of Storrs did not go inside there.
Purvis with the foul. That will be the third team foul on Stars of Storrs. Here's something else to think about, Matt. The Brown Ballers have but one team foul. And it's not like the NBA where you have a foul to give in the last 2 minutes of the Elam ending. If you go one team foul, it's going to be side out of bounds until you get into the penalty. Lay-in is good by Graywall.
And once you're in the penalty, you get one free throw plus retained possession.
On a non-shooting foul,
so,
correct.
Great point by you on the one foul. And what did you say, how many do Stars of Storrs have?
The Brown Ballers have one. Stars of Storrs have three.
So they have one more, and then Brown Ballers in the penalty.
Yeah, so they can be a little more aggressive without sacrificing a free throw
for sure
in the Elam ending.
Number 26, Kassim Nicholson, back in for the Stars of Storrs. Storrs basketball underneath.
It's a 6-point spread right now, 49 seconds away from the Elam ending.
Now we've got about 2 or maybe 3 possessions before the Elam ending. So everyone here, these 2 or 3 possessions, really huge. Probably 2 at this point.
And a key miss by Brandon Garrett.
And I wonder here, no matter what, would they try and run the clock down? Or they're probably going to try to go for it and get as many as they can.
And we got a foul on Stars of Storrs on Kassim Nichols.
Storrs foul number 26, Kassim Nicholson.
So that's 4 team fouls on Stars of Storrs.
Yeah.
Next foul, team foul. The Brown Ballers will be shooting. 21 seconds before the Elam ending, knocked away.
Wow.
Loose ball.
Wow.
Baines going down for it. Stars of Storrs has it. They break, and it's going to be Purvis to lay it in.
Gorgeous layup by Purvis. My goodness.
Makes it an 8-point. Oh, wow. And a quick flip by Baker beats the Elam ending.
And now the Stars of Storrs
now
call
they
a
can take
timeout.
the timeout.
Yep.
Boy, we may look back on that as a key bucket because instead of being 8 down, you're only down by 6.
Yeah, huge by Baker. What a play, what a make on that drive.
The target score established at 89. Back with the Elam ending after this.
I don't even know who landed on.
The first tenet of the Elam ending, check the box. We've stopped the clock, turned it off for the rest of the night. The shot clock will continue. The target score is established by adding 8 points to the team leading score. So that Storrs at 81, add 8. That sets the target score at 89 points. And the first team to hit that number will win the game. The storyline of this one, the inside dominance of Storrs versus the three-point shooting of the Brown Ballers.
And to that point, this is going to Thomas inside this play. They are going right here, pick and roll to Thomas.
Whitehead sandwiched and fouled.
He fouled on the ground.
Ground Ballers foul on number 9, Ariane Sharma. That is his third and the team's
I believe
third.
it was judged to be a shooting foul.
Foul on the shot, so Isaiah Whitehead will be
So
shooting.
2 free throws here for Isaiah Whitehead. And a chance to whittle away at that 89 target score. First one good. 7 points to go.
Storrs, 7 points for the win.
Third foul on Sharma. Second one missed. You know, for all of the fouling, no one has 5 fouls for the Brown Ballers. Big three. Missed by Sharma. Back iron rebound to the Stars of Storrs.
Back to Thomas here if you're Storrs.
He's sitting on that right block.
Oh.
And then lost the handle, but it was knocked away. Last touch by the Brown Ballers. Boy, Sanga was in there screaming for help.
I know, and he had completely lost Thomas. Thomas just lost the ball. They are really lucky that was not 2.
Boatwright. And a huge three in the corner.
That's clutch.
That puts Stars of Storrs 4 points away.
Boatwright's hit 2 really big threes in the
Yes.
second half. It's almost like when he wants to, he'll be aggressive.
Finds another gear.
Yep, that's a great call.
16 points for him. Shot missed. Rebound to Whitehead.
Yeah, such a good
Oh,
contest.
fights. Thomas inside.
Yep.
And they are 2 away. Timeout for the Brown Ballers.
That was all set up by Purvis with that contest.
Target score within reach now. A magnificent pass by Isaiah Whitehead, finding Elijah Thomas for the dunk, and now the next time down the floor, the Stars of Storrs can advance to the semifinals here.
Now, Whitehead's been, to me, one of the tough defenders they've had this second half that really pushed their defensive up, and obviously now a big bucket here. Brown Ballers need something.
Chowdhury's been amazing from three and hits another one.
We called it, and they really had trouble with that screen. They didn't know whether to switch it or not. They kind of were caught in the middle of it. Chowdhury's been just sick. He's been so good.
Boatwright out of the double. Purvis knocked away. A bucket here will end it. Rebound, Brown Ballers. Hope is alive.
And interesting, Thomas out on that possession.
Can they crank another three? Not this time.
That would have made it interesting.
Oh, yeah. And Boatwright, the veteran that he is, understands that shot clock. Take your time, get a good look, and he drains a three to end it.
Hey, take your time, get a good look. How about a 30-footer, and you were dead on. That's what he did. You knew it was going to him. He wasn't going to let go of it. And some big threes by Boatwright in the second half.
And the Stars of Storrs get the win, but they, Matt, were tested.
They were really tested. Give Brown Ballers a lot of credit, but give Stars of Storrs credit for turning things around the second half. I thought two things. Great strategy to get the ball into the paint, and secondly, they just played harder, played with a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a better kind of chemistry in that second half.
The UCONN alums will move on to take on Green Mountain, and that will be Monday at 6. Right here on FS2, followed by D3 against Boeheim's Army. We are waiting for Stars of Storrs to advance. That name on the placard, and now they finally break free of the Brown Ballers, and off to the bracket they go.
It was a very physical game, Bob, even
yes,
3 minutes after the game was over.
Even in the handshake line.
Okay.
Who will have the honor? Rodney Purvis? Yes.
Oh, okay, with that big block late in that big contest on that last play on defense.
Now, Rodney Purvis puts it on the wall for Stars of Storrs. And they move on to the second round. We'll take a break and wrap up our big day in Syracuse. When we continue in just a moment, Jazz Baines and the Brown Ballers come up short. What a great day of basketball here in Syracuse. And you look at the bracket, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 all advance. You say, okay, chalk and Syracuse. That doesn't begin to tell the story. We had great games, incredible finishes. The 2 afternoon games were wild. And then Boeheim's Army, they won in a rout. But every other game, right down to the wire.
And I think one of the things you see here is how the competitiveness and passion of these games means so much. This is not AAU where you don't care if you don't win. This really matters.
Elijah Thomas was the big man in the middle for Storrs and Storrs, the difference in tonight's game.
Well, the lefty sometimes just used one hand because they were holding his other hand. He was so big and strong and so good inside the paint. They just had no answer, even with what, 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 guys down low.
Here's what's coming up. TBT on Fox on Sunday. Lexington and Charleston. These are the games we were talking about earlier. 2:30 on Fox is Auburn, Kentucky, War Ready, and La Familia. An SEC matchup at Memorial. And then at FS1 at 5 o'clock, the Battle of West Virginia. Marshall against the Mountaineers.
That's going to be fantastic.
I cannot wait.
The Herd, I love that team.
So that'll do it. Next game will be on FS1 on Sunday at 12:30. For our entire crew, Matt Muehlbach, Bob Rathman saying so long from Syracuse, New York.